Operation Northwoods was a highly controversial and never implemented proposal by the U.S. Department of Defense in 1962. It outlined a series of false flag operations designed to create public support for a U.S. invasion of Cuba by fabricating Cuban aggression. The plan, drafted by the Joint Chiefs of Staff, was submitted to Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara but was ultimately rejected by President John F. Kennedy. The documents outlining Operation Northwoods, declassified and released in the early 2000s, detailed a range of disturbing scenarios. These included staging terrorist attacks on American soil and blaming them on Cuba. Specific proposals included simulated attacks on U.S. military bases. The plan suggested staging mock attacks on the U.S. naval base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and other American military installations, making it appear as though Cuba was the aggressor. Hijacking and downing civilian aircraft. A particularly chilling proposal involved hijacking U.S. civilian airplanes and either shooting them down or allowing them to disappear, then falsely attributing these acts to Cuba. Sinking a U.S. naval vessel. The documents discuss sinking a U.S. Navy ship in a manner that would convincingly implicate Cuba, providing a casus belli for war, terrorism in U.S. cities. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of the plan was the suggestion of orchestrating acts of terrorism within the United States, including bombings and other violent incidents, and then framing Cuba for these attacks. One proposal specifically mentioned instigating a communist Cuban terror campaign in the Miami area. Manufacturing evidence. The plan also included creating fabricated evidence of Cuban aggression, such as forged documents and manipulated radio transmissions. The motivation behind Operation Northwoods stemmed from the Cold War context and the strong desire within certain segments of the U.S. government to remove the communist regime of Fidel Castro from power in Cuba. The plan's authors believed that a manufactured pretext, even one involving the deaths of American citizens, would be necessary to garner sufficient public and international support for a military invasion. While the plan was never put into action, its existence raises serious questions about the lengths to which some officials were willing to go in pursuit of their political objectives. President Kennedy's rejection of the plan is believed to be one of the reasons he clashed with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and some historians suggest this disagreement may have played a role in later events. The revelation of Operation Northwoods caused considerable controversy and remains a disturbing example of the potential for government overreach and the dangers of false flag operations.